Man, I tell you, between the weather, having a baby, and then time, I have not got to experience these cool parts that we put on this bike. Today, we are going to go for a ride on our giveaway Sportster S because I want to check out how the bike feels with my new little rack on the back. I've got my little skid plate on the bottom, my little crash bars on the side, and the thing I'm really interested in are these handlebar risers. Am I going to be able to tell a difference? Also, I told you guys in the last episode, I was going to put a 360 camera on the back because if you guys notice, you guys know what Sportster S's look like. They normally have this giant bar out the back and it looks hideous. But when we did these parts install, I installed this fender eliminator kit, and my God, the rear of that bike looks so much better. I am very curious if we are going to scrub this at all. So far we haven't, but it's, bro, look how close. I don't even have 2 fingers of clearance. That's 100% what she said. All right, let's go for a ride on this thing and see what this thing is all about. Bro, I love the look so hard. Oh my gosh. Oh, if this is your first time here, this motorcycle is a 2021 Harley-Davidson Sportster S. I'm building it so I can give it away. If you want to win it, go to wrgarage.com. Top link in the description down below. We do give these bikes away. So you could get yourself a new bike. What do we think about the helmet for today, guys? SuperTech R10 from Alpine Stars. I know I look, helmet-wise, I look a little racy today.
Oh no! Oh no!
Do not do this to me. Do not. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright, I'm gonna have my mirror over here looking at that camera because I am sketched out about it. And let's get her going. Dude, you could use these as highway pegs. Holy crap. Alright, let's get on the road. I want to try that out. So yeah, guys, many of y'all know I'm a new father. Got a little 4-month-old at the house, and I know it's been a couple weeks since I put out a WBRG episode, but bro, the amount of time your boy has is so small. It's incredible the amount of time I don't have these days. So it's been, let's call it difficult to keep up with our 3 to 4 video a week shooting schedule. So you guys just know I am doing my absolute best as always. That's all we really can do. So if you guys notice videos are a little slower to come out, that's why. It's just Chase needs to find a better balance in life, and I'm working on it. I'll get there. I have faith. Right now, I do not have that. It's kind of ironic that I haven't been able to shoot recently for WBRG because I literally installed the heated grips. I go take the bike for one ride, and now it's barely even cold anymore. It's like 60-something today. So I got no need for heated grips. So we'll just call the heated grips something for the soon-to-be owner. Whoever ends up winning the bike, they will get to appreciate the heated grips. Me, not so much. It's a thankless job, guys. There's only, stuff like this happens. So, one thing I have got to hit on right now is the body position difference by those handlebar risers is so much more than I ever expected them to be. Because, they only rise, what, an inch, maybe 2? So, when I installed those, I didn't really expect them to do that much, so I was like, yeah, we'll try it out and see what happens. But I've got to say, I really love the body position that I'm in right now. I'm less hunched over, and it allows me to be a lot more comfortable, which kind of makes sense to be it feels more like a Harley. Like when I installed the exhaust and the bike sounded good, it sounds more like a Harley. And now that I've got the handlebars more upright, I still feel sporty, but I don't feel overly sporty. You know what? I'm going to put cruise control on, and for no reason at all, I am going to put my feet up on these things. So is that comfortable? I think so, especially if I was on a long ride. Oh, dude, can I just like rest my foot? Oh, yes. That is the move. Bro, okay, so the crash bars, obviously you're gonna buy the crash bars for protection. That's why we buy these things. But they second as like highway pegs. So one thing I would say, I would not recommend the sliders or the crash bars with the risers. I would not recommend those unless you guys got the comfort seat, which I installed a couple episodes ago on WBRG, which does a phenomenal job. But one of the things that the handlebar risers do is, with me being more upright, it makes me put more energy on. Are we gonna scrape? Oh, we did. Okay, I'll explain the scraping in a second. One of the things I did a couple episodes ago is I installed Harley's comfort seat, and that was a night and day difference for the Sportster S. It very, 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 very much needs that. But with the handlebar risers, I'm now more upright on the bike, which means I'm going to put more weight on the seated area, aka my tush. And because of that, you're going to need a comfort seat. Like, it's comfortable for me with no problem, but if you had the stock seat and you put those risers on, you'd put even more pressure on your butt, and I think it would probably drive you to be a little more uncomfortable than you otherwise could be. So what I was talking about as well with the seat is, if you're doing your feet up here, like, you know, to be in like a little comfortable vibe, when your feet are not on your pegs, you're gonna have more weight on your butt, which is even more reason that you're gonna want that comfort seat if you're gonna be doing those pegs. So, or the crash little, why am I spacing on what that is called? What is happening? I cannot have dad brained that bad. Maybe I do. I'm gonna keep calling it crash bars. That's what I'm doing. Sliders. Sure. Engine sliders. Haha! I figured you out, you elusive beast. Also, you guys let me know in the comments, how does the rear shot of the bike look? I hope it looks as sick as I imagine it in my head to be. Like, the Sportster S, since the day I saw it, I kept thinking, bro, this bike is almost super sick. It's sick, but it's almost like super sick. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we need to do this and do that and change this, and this thing could be outstanding. And I think we are getting there. I really like this industrial vibe that the Kemimoto stuff is giving it. And with that fender eliminator, which hopefully hasn't caused an issue with the tires so far, with that fender gone that looked atrocious, the bike is looking a lot more cleaned up, which I am happy about. Also, I like how low-key the handlebar risers are. Like, you can't even, like, if you didn't know anything about this bike and you just came up to it, I don't think a lot of you guys would know that there's handlebar risers there. You guys, let me know in the comments if you disagree, but I mean, I think those are pretty slick. Another thing I'm doing on this ride is listening for the skid plate vibration. So if you guys didn't watch the install video, I'll put a link down below, so go check it out, because you won't know what I'm talking about. But basically, the skid plate that I put on here, the instructions told me that I needed to remove the lower fairing. Well, I think the lower fairing looks cool as shit, and I didn't want to do that, so I didn't. Luckily, the skid plate actually fits on top of the front part of that fairing, so I left it there. And that way the skid plate just presses up against the fairing. I was worried there was going to be this little vibration sound, especially on a bike like this, but I'm listening for it and I don't hear it at all, which is absolutely fantastic news. That means I get the cool looking skid plate that definitely does lower the ground clearance, as you guys heard earlier, but it doesn't interfere with the fairing, which is awesome. So I get best of both worlds. Also, check it out, no clearance issues at all with the handlebar risers. That's awesome news. I was kind of worried when I saw how tight one of these got, but I pulled it a little bit, got it readjusted. No problems at all. Such good news. But yeah, earlier when I took that right turn, you guys might have heard some scraping. In the last video of the install of all these Kemimoto parts, somebody commented and they said that they already scraped their lower fairing, their belly fairing, and they were like, I don't know about that belly pan. There's already not a great amount of ground clearance on the Sportster S, and the belly fairing, obviously the skid plate is bigger than the belly fairing, so we've lost a little bit of ground clearance. So that is something to be cautious of. Whenever I get stopped, I'm gonna see if I can tell where the fairing scraped, and we'll see what it looks like. So we'll see how that looks. Don't scrape, don't scrape. Cool, don't scrape, don't scrape. Cool. See, it's still a usable amount of lean angle. Also, I gotta admit, riding the Sportster S with a more sporty focused race helmet, it feels so much better with this as opposed to like an ADV helmet. I'm trying to figure out what helmet feels right on the Sportster S, and I feel like the sporty helmet is the way to go. Especially with something that doesn't have a lot of wind protection, you need something that'll cut through the wind. And this Supertech R10, god dang, will it do that. Ah, cars. Jesus Christ! Woo! I forget what this bike will do. And I'm not even in sport mode, I'm in road mode, and my eardrums are bleeding. And somehow I'm not upset about it. Interessante. I mean, now I want to put it in sport mode. There we go. I need to buy, whoever wins this bike, I need to buy earplugs for them, just so they make sure they ride carefully. So guys, I will admit, when I was heading out to do this video, you guys can probably see from the 360 camera, I've got a book bag with me, because I'm going to go film some stuff and take some pretty pictures of the motorcycle. But I was going to strap this to the back of the motorcycle because one of the Kemimoto parts was that little rear luggage rack that I kind of like finagled to get onto the bike. And I started playing around with it, and I realized the bike looks so cool when it has that rear luggage rack that I didn't really want to mess it up by mounting something to it. So for me so far, it's only a looks situation. It's not really functional. But if you weren't like me and weren't just so totally focused on looks, you could totally use that to like strap a bag to or something like that. But I started strapping stuff to it, and I was really excited to get that 360 shot to show how cool the bike looks from the rear now. And every bag I attached to it, I was just like, man, this is messing up that clean vibe that I got going on. And nothing is worth ruining the vibe. So I maintained the vibe and ruined the, oh, don't scrape, oh, don't scrape. Okay, all right, we made it. I kept the vibe intact, and because of that, I'm wearing it on my back, as per usual with a bag. But it is functional. I didn't want you guys to see me not having, like me wearing a book bag and not using the rear rack and be like, can you even use that? You 100% can. I'm just dumb. God, the exhaust on this bike is incredibly required if you were going to buy a Sportster S. Speaking of that exhaust, actually, I've seen some comments on other WBRG episodes, and you guys asked me if I don't burn my leg with the exhaust, because all of you guys probably know on the Sportster S, the exhaust kind of goes along the side of the bike, and the Rowdy exhaust has these little black shields that it comes with. Now, while I'm riding, as you can see, my leg kind of goes out to the side, so there's not really an issue of burning while you're riding the motorcycle, but my leg has come close to getting singed while I'm moving the bike around, if I'm not cautious, like after a ride or something like that, if I'm walking the bike around. But my leg has never like come in contact with the exhaust regardless of what's been happening. So it might look like it's sketchy, like a like a Triumph Scrambler, you know how they have the exhaust on the side as well. But once you get on the bike and you get rolling, it's really not as bad as it looks. Alrighty, my friends. So, final verdict on the Kemimoto stuff. My favorite is probably the fender illuminator kit, because that look, that is just how this bike should look. I will argue that to infinity and beyond. This thing is cool looks-wise and adds some functionality. The handlebar risers, probably functionally one of my favorite things, because I love the body position that I'm now in with this bike. I'm gonna be honest, the belly pan, unless you just really like the look, it's kind of unnecessary. And let's see if it's scraped. Yeah, I can't really see where it may have scraped. Huh. So did I scrape the peg then? Interesting, because I can't see where I might have scraped it. But this is that lower fairing that I was talking about, how this just kind of plays into that. And it just sits there. Oh, wow, that was all the way up. Interesting. Whatever. These are really cool. I love the look of these. I'm probably going to leave these on instead of the old Harley ones, because the Harley ones are just big and come around. I really like that lower key look. So if I was to rate these things, handlebar risers, if you want a slightly more comfortable body position on your Sportster S, definitely grab those. These are great. They look good. You can use them as your foot pegs. Love those. Aesthetically, the fender illuminator is an absolute must. And yeah, if you like this vibe, this look, definitely check out the little rear rack. But overall, that's awesome. I'm very happy with the modifications from Kemimoto, so super happy with those. So guys, that's going to be the end of this one. You know, checking our parts out on our little giveaway bike. If you guys want to enter to win, wrgarage.com. Check it out. You can grab merch, grab entries, do whatever you want. You'll get entries, and the website will automatically tabulate them all. And that's how we decide who wins this motorcycle. Now, here's the thing. My wife has to go somewhere. I have to run home and watch my child, so I'm going to get out of here. You guys go ride safe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.